Let's go. What's going on, Broncos country? Hey, I'm back. Thanks to all my friends, Jeremy, Marky Sports, Kodiak Broncos podcast, all holding the ship down last week. And hey, we're the number one seed in the AFC. All we got to do is win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. That's all you got to do. It's insane. So, guys, get in the comments. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe to all the channels. Links in the description. Come on now. And also, go ahead and sign up on Kalshi because Broncos still only got like 11% odds to win the Super Bowl, something dumb like that. So, use that promo code DTB. Link in the description, okay? And get trading on Kalshi on the NFL playoffs and college football playoff. But Jeremy, Mark, Kodiak, thank you guys so much for joining. And chat, we'll see you in here soon. But let's go ahead before we kind of turn the page to the playoffs and talk about all that. Maybe talk a little bit of a little regular season recap. Maybe just your first takeaway or one big takeaway you have from the Broncos 19-3 victory yesterday. How about we start with Mark this time, and we'll work our way around. That way, Mark doesn't have to follow Kodiak.
Yeah. Well, my takeaway, man, is that was more vanilla of a game plan than even the preseason games. It just is what it was. People are not going to like it. Should we have performed better and looked better? Yes, but I put zero in every aspect of the game. The only real concern that I had was the injuries. Luckily, we had the 2 main guys come back. We'll hear about PJ Locke, but Forsyth and Bowles are good to go. That's all that I was really worried about. The offensive line really looked like they struggled, but again, they've earned a pass in terms of how they've done for the whole year. But if you take anything about that game and you make it you attack it as if it's going to mean anything for the postseason, I think that that's an incorrect notion. Again, it was frustrating. I just wanted the game to end, and I'm glad that it's over and we can move on. But yeah, definitely nothing about this team in terms of overall. But hey, man, overall it was great. A win's a win. That's kind of become the mantra, hence the thumbnail. I call ourselves the Denver a win's a win Broncos. I think that that's kind of how we're rolling, and we'll take it, man. And I'm super pumped. We could not be in a better position than we are. No possible way. Being the number 1 seed is the best way and the best odds to get to your ultimate prize of winning a Super Bowl. So all is well with me.
Dude, I agree, man. I agree. Kodiak, who was at the game, all right. How was it? And yeah, give us your takeaway from yesterday's victory.
Well, to answer your first question, it sounds like the crowd and the defense, it sounds like they wanted the number 1 seed. But my main takeaway from this game is that we are the number 1 seed. I know that's very Belichickian, but my takeaway is we're the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's my takeaway from this game. If you're going to look down the list and look at the other takeaways, I think a lot of people would have wanted us to play better, like Mark was saying. And, yes, vanilla game plan. Operationally, I didn't expect it to be as messy as it was. I did put out a film review on my channel. It doesn't mean a whole lot, but there is teaching tape. I think a lot of local guys, they wanted the Broncos to have some teaching tape for the playoffs, and they got a lot of it. Trust me, I did a full film review, and they got a lot of teaching tape, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. I think the offensive line just had a very, very bad day. But once again, they've earned a pass, and you know what? Zach Strief, we know that he is one of those guys that during these sort of whatever kind of games, he'll be like, all right, try out something new. We'll experiment with all these new techniques. All that's pretty valid, especially because Forsyth and Powers do not have any chemistry together whatsoever. And you could see that on the football field. But yeah, either way, I'm just kind of ranting at this point because I know that my segment or section of what I've been talking has been mostly talking about our failures, but we're the number 1 seed. The defense is back. The defense generated some takeaways. That's all I have to say about, sometimes you need to go to the bar and make out with a 2 or a 3 to get yourself feeling good again. And I feel like that's what the defense did yesterday.
Perfectly said. Hey, before we go to Jeremy, I got to ask you, man, what was kind of the opinion of, people around you at the game with what was going on, man?
It was a lot of it was the sentiment on Twitter, except amplify that and have it screaming in your ear from people that are 10 rows away from you. Like, I think people were starting to call Sean Payton Mr. Screen or something like that. I think a lot of people were talking crazy about our running backs, like, oh, Tyler Beneda, RJ Harvey. Somebody was like, oh, it's a good thing Bo overthrew RJ Harvey in the red zone because he would have dropped it. So yeah, all those people at the games, like, I understand it. I understand. Once again, it's frustrating. Do you want to play like that, execute like that going into the playoffs? No. But once again, you got the number 1 seed. Okay. In 2 days, I can guarantee that nobody's going to actually give a shit about how we played. I can almost guarantee that everybody's just going to be like, all right, we got the number 1 seed. All's well, ends well. And I agree with that because once again, you watched not only the Broncos, how many preseason games have we had this year? 6? Probably their 7th preseason game this year.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's nice to have 6 preseason games. Jeremy, round us out, man. Your takeaway from yesterday's win.
You had 3 goals going into yesterday, and it was win, stay healthy, and oh god, no, I waited too long.
Win again.
Win.
Those are good goals, though.
I mean, it was literally win, stay healthy, and I'm spaced on the other one, but it was and
don't show anything.
Well, what's that?
Don't show anything on tape.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't show anything. And you did all 3 of those things. You gave away nothing. You got what you needed to do. That was all by design. Look good doing it would have been a bonus, right? But we look good in the uniform, so I'll take that. But what happens the last time we had an actual game where everybody was like, oh, this is going to be the measuring stick game. This is the game everybody's waiting for. We're coming off of bye. How's Sean going to prepare? All that. It was what game? The Packer game. And that's when we've looked our best. So I'm not too worried about it. And I mean, this is now a tournament and it's survive at all costs. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to remember if you won by 1 or 100. It just matters if you win. And so that's what this team is all about. And we can't be in a better position for that. So that's all that matters.
Yes. Wonderfully said. I'm going to piggyback off of your takeaway, Jeremy, and that is we aced the regular season. Okay. Now, maybe our test-taking methodology isn't what we thought it would be throughout the whole season, right? Maybe, we didn't get the answers correct in the way you would want. But, hey, whether we went 17-0 or 14-3, we got the number 1 seed. That's all that matters. We did as good as you can in the regular season. Lock that up. And again, now the test in the season really starts, okay? Now, Sean Payton, okay, we're willing to excuse kind of like, maybe how, I hate to use this word, maybe how ugly some of these wins can be, as long as we see this evil genius, unveil the offense come the divisional round. The real pressure's on, but what's great, this team has dealt with pressure all season, man. They are battle tested, unlike the New England Patriots. That's right. Patriot agenda. That's what it is. So I can't wait to see how the divisional round or the wild card round goes and who our opponent ends up being. But yeah, Broncos exceeded all of our expectations this year, and it was capped off finally with the victory over the Chargers. So that felt good. Want to say hello again to some people in the chat. If you're fighting, if you guys are still calling each other's names, stop that. Let's get into some of the good stuff. Eli Betts in here. Fire Aaron Glenn. He said, no doubt the Broncos got a Super Bowl defense, but is this a Super Bowl caliber offense? Does it need to be in order to win it all? Curious your guys' thoughts. I guess before we get into our kind of cover 4 segment, I think that this would be a wonderful thing to talk about. And I would love, Jeremy, to you kind of kick us off with answering this question, and we can chime in after that.
Well, 2000 Ravens didn't have a Super Bowl offense. The first Big Ben Super Bowl that the Steelers won, their offense was like just protect Big Ben at all costs. Don't let him make bad decisions. So you don't need a Super Bowl offense, one, but two, we've seen this offense perform in big games against tough teams. We beat the number one offense. Remember when we were going into Dallas, everybody was talking, this is going to be the test. Can the offense keep up with Dallas? We destroyed them. Can this team overcome the number one defense in Houston? Well, in the clutch, what happened? Bo Nix made plays at the very end, got us in field goal range, win the game. We did it. Can they come back against a Super Bowl caliber team like the Eagles? They did that. They scored 33 points in the fourth quarter against the Giants. Like, we outclassed Patrick Mahomes twice this season. In the big game, once in the big game, and then beat him the second time. So like, anytime this team has had a test that they've needed to answer and show, the offense showed up. Now we're going to get a little like worrisome. Some people will, because like yesterday, the red zone offense wasn't as efficient as we wanted and those kind of things. But again, we were literally just telling Bo, you could tell, don't do anything stupid. Don't turn the ball over. Don't do anything that's going to result in anything. As long as we don't push this car over 35 miles an hour, we'll coast to a victory and we will win. And that's exactly what they did. And I appreciate the discipline. And that's what it's going to take. Disciplined offense, really good defense, and a good special teams, all contributing, all playing complementary football. So yeah, I definitely think this team's good enough. This offense is good enough for sure.
Kodiak, Mark, any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Eli Bass actually says, no doubt this is a Super Bowl defense. Here's the thing. Coming into this game, I don't change my sentiment just because we beat up on the Chargers backups or whatever. I was more concerned about the defense heading into the postseason than the offense. Okay, yeah. Here's why. Ever since the bye week, like, Bo Nix and this offense has been the identity of this team. And when we have played the playoff teams like Green Bay, like Jacksonville, like, we turn it around in the second half against Green Bay, but it's really been the offense doing the heavy lifting for the second half of the year, especially against the really good teams. Like the Chiefs, they were not in free fall mode when we played them. They got into free fall mode in large part because we beat them and we knocked them so far behind the 8-ball in the standings. And also, yeah, overall, once again, I think the defense, like, I have faith that they will figure it out. But I know yesterday didn't inspire a lot of confidence in people, but to respond to Eli Betts, which fire Aaron Glenn, I'm so sorry that you guys had to keep him. But yeah, overall, I was more concerned about the defense heading into the playoffs than the offense, because anytime we do have an opportunity on the offensive side of the ball to show up, we do in the big games. Under Sean Payton, that's just the way we have been. And yeah, overall, besides Buffalo last year, like in the playoffs, I can't think of a game where the offense has let us down in a big moment.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Now, Mark, you kind of alluded to this earlier about maybe some vanilla game plans here down the stretch. Yeah, how do you feel about this defense and offense going into this Super Bowl run, hopefully?
Yeah, I mean, I think the defense is been good enough, but they're going to have to be. I mean, they are the identity of this football team, in my opinion. I think we go as they go. The offense has shown that they can, pick up the weight in times when it's needed. But the biggest thing, man, is it comes down to the basic fundamentals. Like when the offense is in the red zone, they just got to score touchdowns, right? They got to be, being good on third down is always important. Sustaining drives, controlling the clock is all important. But the biggest thing is, can they score when they're in the red zone, and can the defense hold teams out of the red zone? That's how we've won most of the season. And I think that's really what it's going to boil down to. So when they ask, like, do I think the offense is good enough? Absolutely. I mean, I've seen a lot of good from this offense, and I've seen a whole lot of bad. But the important thing is, like, don't have those game-crushing turnovers. And we've avoided those on the offensive side for the most part. It's the reason why we've been able to carry the defense's lack of getting turnovers. This is a really weird team, man. Like, we're the leaders in the NFL in sacks again. We broke our own franchise record from last year in sacks again. All the metrics show that we're really good defense, but we had a franchise low, the lowest in Broncos history, 4 turnovers in a season. And that's weird, right? Like, it's never happened. So it's like we break a lot of really good records. Like, sacks are very good. They usually mean turnovers. But we also broke a record for least amount of turnovers in a season. So that makes me think, like, it makes me very optimistic, because we've been able to win 14 games not forcing turnovers. Man, if we just flip that a little bit and we become a team that starts to take the ball away, we're not losing. in the playoffs, unless we also give the ball away a lot. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of things to be positive about, but I do believe in this offense. The running game is always going to be a little bit of a concern, but I think it's been good enough if we're able to just sustain drives and keep doing what we do and kind of ride the course. I don't think we need to try and switch so many different things up. If it's been working, it's been working.
Mhm. Jeremy, it looked like you had a thought that you wanted to say.
I was just going to say, is that turnover differential or is that turnovers
No,
total?
turnovers total.
We had to have more than 4.
No, we had 14. Did I say 4?
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
you said
said 4.
4.
I was like,
I
there's.
think it was 14, but I do know. Well, and I did want to check actually before that to make sure because it might have been going into yesterday's game. No, we finished the season with 14 turnovers, so
That's
we,
right. Okay.
we went in with the lowest in franchise history, and we had it. And it ended up being the least ever. Yeah, we had 10 picks and 4 fumble recoveries. But yeah, still wild.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen Eli Manning win 2 Super Bowls. Okay. You know, you don't exactly need to have an offense that lights the world on fire. But Mark, to your point, man, don't turn the ball over. I think that needs to be the number one priority. Unless we play the Bills, I really don't know if we'll need to play a shootout until who knows? Who knows, man? These NFC teams, I know we got some Seahawks fans in the chat. I mean, they got dynamic on fire offenses, man. So yeah, you might have to open things up against opponents like that. But I mean, I still would not be surprised if the Broncos play tight, low scoring games here in the playoffs to start. As long as it's not Buffalo. Gosh, I'm terrified of Buffalo. But Eli also saying, could J.K. Dobbins be back for the playoffs? He could be back come the AFC Championship week if the Broncos are there. Do you ride with Harvey when he comes back? We'll get into that. But I say, hey, JK would really help this red zone scoring. And we might just have to only survive one more game without him. And that would be huge. But yeah, guys, let's open this up a little bit, get into some of the different topics that we wanted to talk about, guys. We're kind of going with the cover 4 segment here. So all 4 of us will have a different thing to kind of generate some discussion or debate. Does anybody have one that you just got to go with right now, or shall we start with the great Jeremy?
Oh yeah, you wanted to recap the game, was it not?
Oh yeah. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about the execution on the offensive side of the ball. Okay. What do you guys make of that? Because I don't know if you guys have I don't know how far you guys have gotten into the game, but we know this game plan was super, super how do I put it? Flaccid. Okay. Now,
Yes.
But going beyond that, okay, what do you guys make of it? Are you guys concerned? What do you guys have to think about? Thank you, Gregory. It means a lot. What do you guys
I actually don't
think?
like it when he gives us compliments.
I know. It feels weird.
It doesn't feel right.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
me
feel
too.
right.
His guy Sutton got 1 catch yesterday, so I don't know how he feels about that. But either way, what do you guys think about how we played on the offensive side of the ball? Because we know that, okay, what we showed yesterday is not what it's going to look like in the playoffs. It's just not. But what do you guys think of how we played in spite of the vanilla game plan? And I just want to hear some overall thoughts on that.
I thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's no way to sugarcoat it offensively. I mean, it looked terrible, but I think it was because here's was the most shocking part. The O-line had by far the worst game of the year. I think that took everyone by surprise. It rushed Bo a lot of the times. He did a good job buying time or making plays with his feet, but there was some things open down the field. But they did a good job. I thought that they gave us unique looks and unique fronts that we hadn't seen yet before, so that could be a really good thing. But yeah, I mean, the protection just broke down, and that's what happens. It kind of threw everything up for a loop. So execution-wise, it wasn't all that pretty, but there was, for me, what I saw from Bo is it was a very, very deliberate effort of, I don't care if you take a sack, do not turn the football over. And that's why. So the O-line didn't play well, but that's also why you saw Bo Nix get sacked 4 times, which is the high for the season, because it was about just don't turn the ball over. We're not going to give him anything. This is how we're going to win, and it is what it is.
This was the toughest game for me to watch, I think, all season. Like, you guys know I'm a sicko. Like, I really enjoyed the Jets game. I really enjoyed the Raiders game, even though it was a mess, man. Like, for some reason, man, maybe it was because I was expecting and hoping Bo would get over 4,000 yards on the season. It just didn't happen. But yeah, the East to West passing game, the sacks, Bo not, I mean, he didn't have a great game from just like a mechanical perspective either. Just like it just seemed like he was so rushed. And him and Sean Payton, I don't think we're on the same page this game. But I'm just gonna scrap all that to Sean wanting to win, as you've put it, Mark, as what, with the least amount of planning possible or effort possible in a way. You're not wanting to give away anything. So at least we made some drives to where Will Lutz could be productive, right? At least we got a kicker that, for the most part, makes those clutch kicks, unlike, Baltimore or Pittsburgh, man. That was a crazy ending there. So, yeah, it was an ugly performance. I think right now, probably the biggest concern that I have, and hey, if we get into my topic, that's fine, but is right now surviving one more game without J.K. Dobbins. I know, Kodiak, you were posting in the Discord, man, some of the runs that RJ Harvey has had. And what was the stat that Aussie put in the Discord about how RJ ranked like one of the last running backs in efficiency from like off tackle runs or runs to the outside all year? I was really surprised about that.
Yeah, so I don't. Oh God, you guys can't see that at all, but I'll just read it off to you guys. RJ Harvey by Luca Evans on Twitter. RJ Harvey finished the 2025 regular season ranking 48th out of 49th in qualified running backs in yards per carry when running outside the tackles.
That's pretty surprising, man.
It is.
Well, that's because they have so coached him to stay in, and he does not want to bounce, even when he should. Like, Jaleel was seeing it so much better yesterday, and I can see the thinking going on in RJ Harvey's head of like, I was told not to go outside. I was told not to bounce it outside. So I got to just stay in the middle and run to daylight, RJ. Whatever you see, run to daylight. Dude, you don't have to just bounce it to the outside, but also, like, if it's not there in the middle, do what you do best. So I just think it was just kind of a weird game. The offensive line wasn't playing well, but Jaleel, sometimes I've seen those games a million times where one guy is obviously looking way better than the other guy. So you just got to feed that guy. I mean, Mike Shanahan for years would be like, I'm going to give three guys like some carries, and then, oh, that guy looks like he's got it today, and then now he just feeds that guy. So I think just that was the case yesterday. It's going to happen. But my goodness, RJ Harvey scored 12 touchdowns this year. So, like, let's just that's an amazing thing that nobody was expecting. I don't think so. I think he's fine. He's a rookie. He's only going to get better. J.K. Dobbins is obviously going to help, but I do think, like, if we go in the playoffs, J.K. is probably going to, if J.K.'s playing, he's going to be on a snap count. They're not just going to go, okay, here's the bulk of it again.
Right.
So you're going to need them both. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, I get it. And like, the problem with yesterday is I just felt like the offensive line, man, that was a really, really, really bad, poorly executed performance against the Chargers backups. Like, I get it. Jesse Minter had some really, really good things they threw out there, even with, chicken scraps. He still made chicken salad, as Zach Seegers likes to put it on your guys' show, David. But, even then, like, come on, Forsyth, I thought was appalling yesterday. I thought Forsyth and Bowers just did not have it yesterday. I thought, Bowles and Forsyth, both getting hurt. That really derailed the mojo of the offensive line. And also the Chargers, they could cheat underneath because we ran just such a conservative offense. We ran literally the most Mickey Mouse offense of all time. But I think if you're going to run an offense that conservative, you have to execute it well. Now, what does it mean going forward? Nothing, because this offense has amnesia. Whenever the offensive line has a bad game, we've seen that they have a tendency to just flush it out of their system. And it happens like that. Okay, one week we can just be like, wow, I can't believe this is the same offensive line we had last week. But man, oh man, like everybody I saw get beat yesterday. Like, I thought McGlinchey had some pretty terrible blocks. I thought Frank Crum had an embarrassing effort on the 4th and 1 by, to Harvey that got stopped, or 3rd and 1, I should say. Either way, I just thought too many guys just losing individual reps. Now, I did make a film review about the whole offense, so if you want to see that on my channel, go ahead. I thought RJ had some pretty terrible runs, and not only that, I thought RJ Harvey sucked as a lead blocker. Like, there was a play where he literally could have been a lead blocker for Bo, and instead of going up and attacking the defender, he literally just looks to like the line of scrimmage to the side. So there was just too much bad. Now, for all the people that wanted the Broncos to get a lot of teaching tape, congratulations, you got it, because now we have a lot to clean up. And, Sean Payton will always be up on the podium being like, well, we have a lot to clean up. Well, I hope you brought your mop bucket and your sanitizer today, because against the Chargers backups, that was bad. Again, does it mean a whole lot? Not really, because once again, the most Mickey Mouse game plan of all time. But stylistically, you would have liked to have seen them execute it better. Mark said, yeah, the execution was pretty terrible. How much do we really care about it? Not really that much, but I think it is something worth reflecting on.
Oh, I did want to say one positive. It was nice to see Evan Ingram finally get a target downfield. I mean, that's what he was brought here to do. And I feel like anytime he's getting the ball, it's like in the flats, So, that was one of the few plays that was executed in which, hey, we're throwing it downfield, and helped us get another field goal. But I really want to see more of Evan Ingram here in the playoffs. Maybe we're not throwing it to him a ton because we want to keep him healthy for now. So we got 3 games to go. Let's put the pedal to the metal and open everything up.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I mean, this might not mean anything. I don't want to sound like a homer, but like the Chargers offense had technically 9 of their 11 starters not playing, but on defense, it was really 4 of their main starters, and Khalil Mack's been a part-timer this year. So they had a majority of their defense in. And a lot of the guys that were playing too are like, it would be the equivalent of like Nick Bonito not playing, but Jonah Ellis playing. Like the backup that they had that was kind of eaten yesterday has 8 sacks on the season. So it's not like we were playing against complete scrubs. It's nothing like the Kansas City game last year, week 18. This was a majority of the regular Chargers defense out there. So
Yeah, and I guess if there is anything to say about that, it's good that you got a practice exam, especially potentially playing them plus 7 others in 2 weeks. And what'd you do? You failed the practice exam. Oh, well, you still have 2 weeks to study for that if it does come to that. So, yeah. But overall, I get what you're saying.
And there's a difference between last week where we played a Chiefs team that was not going to make the playoffs, so it didn't matter at all, versus a team that we might see in 2 weeks. So you really got to show nothing. You can't even like somewhat give them something. So it's an interesting situation where you have to win, but you also can't show anything. And they're trying to do everything to spoil it from you. So you got to just look at the context of the game. That's what the context was. And they handled it. They still won by 16. Like it wasn't exactly like it came down to a field goal at the end or something, but it just wasn't aesthetic. We wanted it to be over by halftime, of course, but like, that's just not the way this team is. That's not their way.
I guess now thinking about it, everything was on the line last year during week 18. Yep. And so that's why you saw Sean Payton really open up the playbook. And I mean, we just demolished them, but here it was a little bit different.
One thing I will say, I thought the game was over after the J-Mac pick 6. I was like, no way Trey Lance is getting however many. I thought the game was over 3 minutes into the first quarter, or 3 minutes left in the first quarter, or whatever. We got that pick 6. So I was like, yeah, all right. I thought, Sean Payton, if you're playing Madden, he literally hit the R3 button and scrolled to chew clock, and so did the Chargers. Like it seemed like everybody.
But did you ever really think we were going to lose the game?
No, fuck no.
Yeah, like when it was 10-0, I was like, this game's probably over. And then the injuries pissed me off.
That's what.
And then it was just like, I want this game to end. Like I never really thought we were going to lose. I was just like, it's just annoying me, and I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to like pull our starters on the offensive line and put in backups, and then all of a sudden now Bo's getting hit from blind. So it's like a weird balance. But like it's super hard as an athlete to just be like, hey, you have to go out and play and prepare all week to play, but also like you know, you're going against backups and you're probably going to win and it's at home. Like, it's just not full on. Like, it's like a car that's not meant to, you know, Ferrari's not meant to be driven 40 miles an hour. It's just, it wants to go. And so, like, keeping it downshifted, just, it's not going to look right. It's not going to perform right.
Well said, man. Kodiak, great topic. Mark, did you have a topic on your mind, or do you still need some time?
Well, my topic was just about the current wild card division, wild card week.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that segue is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
So
talk
I mean,
about it.
I feel like for me, I think that, man, the AFC's it's weird this year, right? Like, looking at it, and I think we've known it all year, but now that it's officially in the books, like, I look at it where I feel like the three wild card teams, you know, the non-division winners, I guess you can say, could easily be the favorites and easily win all the 3 games. But then again, if you said that all of the home teams were going to win, that wouldn't surprise you either. Like, it's so out there. And I think a lot of it is going to be matchup driven. I think weather is going to have a big impact on one of the games or not. But I'm curious, first of all, what you guys' thoughts are. We could talk AFC and NFC, but obviously probably mainly AFC, in terms of what you think is going to happen. And then I'm curious as to, like, what your ideal scenario would be for the Broncos as well. And David, we can start with you.
Yeah, well, let me go ahead and pull in the playoff matchups next week. I'm just going to read these here on my phone. So in the AFC, we have the Bills playing Jacksonville. We have the Chargers playing the Patriots. And we have the Texans playing the Steelers. So what I am hoping is that by some miracle of the football gods, we get all hosting teams winning their games.
It's hilarious that that's a miracle that the hosting teams win.
I know,
Yes,
right?
that would be phenomenal.
Because the Steelers, man, I don't see them beating the Texans, but who knows? Maybe Aaron Rodgers has another amazing performance, right? A legendary performance. But out of, like, all the teams, dude, I want to play Pittsburgh. That's who I want to play. I think we can absolutely beat them. Now, in terms of the NFC, you got great matchups. Rams, Panthers. I'll be cheering for the Panthers because they're who I want us to play in the Super Bowl. Again, with Santa Clara, Super Bowl 50, everything. Plus, they're the worst team in the NFC playoffs. So, I mean, no shame in saying it. Bears and Packers. I think the Bears get it done, man. I'm a bit of a homer, but I'm going with the Bears. And then the Eagles and 49ers. This is a type of game that Kyle Shanahan drops, dude. And the Niners just.
I agree.
I just don't know what version of Philly we're going to get. But I'm going to go with Philly.
His record against Vic Fangio is, like, wildly bad.
Really?
So,
really?
Obviously, that narrative can change. But, yeah, from what I saw a couple articles talking about it, and, like, he struggles a lot against Fangio and Fangio-style defenses.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to go with probably Eagles to win there. But, yeah, all that to say, I've oscillated or rotated, I guess, I don't know, between the Chargers and Bills on, like, the team that I don't want to play the most. I don't want the Broncos to play the most. And yeah, I guess I'll go right now. I'll stick with it. I don't want us to play the Chargers, man. I don't. I would rather have the Bills and Josh Allen come in here. I know that sounds crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I know Chargers are going to charge, right? But, dude, Jesse Minter owns us. They make our offensive line look like trash every time we play them under Jim Harbaugh.
Did you see what Tony Jefferson, or whatever his name is, he's one of the players from the Chargers, said?
Yeah. Except for JL Skinner. He hates the ball, except for JL Skinner. That's his boy.
He was like, screw the Broncos, y'all soft. I swear you guys suck, except for JL Skinner. He's my man. He likes JL Skinner, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, that's some pretty good fuel. I think Sean Payton will find a way to use that.
Oh, like good bulletin board material.
Yeah. Listen, it would still be a tough game. I think the Chargers are, they've obviously had our number, but I think I'd rather play them than the Bills. But Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, that was one of my giddy up questions. Besides Pittsburgh, the most ideal matchup for the Broncos is the Chargers. So we know them the best, but it's just we haven't had good luck with them for whatever reason. But we owe them one from that first I mean, this game kind of didn't matter. Obviously, they weren't playing their starters, but that we should have won week 3 or whatever it was. Like we had them, and I don't know. I always feel like it's bad karma to be like, I want this team and not this team, because I feel like I'm fine with playing whoever we get. It's at home. We should win no matter what. Bring whoever you want on. That's how it is. That's how I feel about it. So I'm not going to sweat. Oh, if it could only be this. Yeah. I will say though, watching that game, I say that, but watching that game last night when it's Ravens Pittsburgh and they're both double choking, both defenses go into the crapper, both kickers go into the tank, like choke. You're like, give me the Steelers, because the Ravens, I just hate playing the Ravens. So, for us to be a Super Bowl champion.
I mean, who do you think ultimately, like, how do you think the first round will play out?
Man, who do I think? I think the Jaguars are kind of for real. I do. I think they're a team that plays really hard for each other. It's in Jacksonville. The Bills Mafia ain't going to be breaking any tables down in Jacksonville. So I kind of feel like Jacksonville's, I don't know. The Bills aren't the Bills this year for whatever reason, but Josh Allen can always do his thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Jags on that one. I'm got to go with the Texans over the Steelers, just because it's like the Steelers, like that was just insane, that the fact they're even in. And then I think Pittsburgh, I think the Patriots might beat the Chargers. I think the Chargers are banged up. I think they have a lot of excuses not to win that game. I think it's a Sunday night game in New England. I think New England's going to be going absolutely berserk, and their coach is tough, dude. They're like, Vrabel is like, they got those guys playing hard and hitting, and the team from LA's got to go all the way to the East Coast and then get coming off of a bunch of injuries, are going to get hit like that. I don't know, man. I see the Patriots probably pulling that one out.
Yeah, if Slater and Alt were healthy, then I would say that, the Chargers have a decent chance to go into Foxborough, but indoor team flying across the country, the weather's going to be bad. Like, I checked the forecast, because I know, Mark, you alluded to that during the video. You were just like, all right, it's going to be highly dependent on weather, because we know how dome teams or indoor teams play, especially ones that play in warm climates. What happens when they go into tough places to play? I think they crumble. Now, once again, for me, there is no ideal playoff opponent, okay? Everybody you are going to face in the playoffs is going to be tough. But here's what I would like to do. I would like to throw the clock back 10 years, and I would like us to play the Steelers, then I would like us to play the Patriots, and then I would like to play the Panthers. You know why? Because we've did it before. We did it again. That's funny.
Could you imagine how crazy that would be? I feel like all exactly. I bet you Kalshi and all of the betting apps, because you know how they jocked they jocked the Chiefs so hard until they were officially out of it. I bet you they still have the Chiefs with the same odds to win the Super Bowl as the Panthers. But that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement in terms of wanting to play the Steelers, but I don't know, man. I have a feeling it's going to be the Chargers. I really do. I think they're going to beat New England.
Dude, if they beat New England, and yeah, I can totally see them doing it. I can totally see them beat New England. I know it's on the road, but dude, there's just something about how that team plays that they're just inevitable.
It's a perfect match. Honestly, the Patriots is probably the best matchup for the Chargers, because their O-line sucks, and the Patriots, of all the teams left, have the worst pass rush. So that kind of offsets a little bit. And yeah, I mean, and the Patriots haven't really, faced elite opponents and guys that are kind of tough you out a little bit. So it could be tough.
It feels like the Patriots are where we were last year. We're like, I mean, they have a better record and they're like hosting and all that, but like they hadn't been there before with their young quarterback and have gone through like those things. Now being home is really going to help, but like their schedule was like easy as can be this year. So Chargers are going to Charger, and the Patriots haven't done it yet. So what's going to be the answer to that? We don't know.
I mean, and it's Drake May's first playoff game. It could go really good for him, but it could also be a struggle. I mean, you don't know. So
who knows? Maybe he is just Tom Brady, just right out the gate. Maybe that's just the case.
Yeah. Freaking Josh McDaniels, man, that guy.
But yeah, whether it's Texans, Bills, or Chargers, I ain't happy with any of those opponents, playing any of those. Like all three of those teams are going to be really tough.
Yeah. And that's a tournament. So like, even if the Chargers win that game, they're going to have to go again on the road. Again, they still have injuries. Like, it's a war of attrition. It's not like a single, like, here's a game and then in another month we have a bowl game we can all rest up for. It is like, that's what's so great about this bye is you don't even have the opportunity to lose, right? Going into this season, what did we want? We wanted to get past the first round of the playoffs. Well, we've already done that because we don't even have to play the first round of the playoffs. So that's the best news. That's what's single elimination. Anything can happen on any given day, right? And that's why winning a Super Bowl is so sweet because it's like so hard to do. But like just eliminating all the hits, all of the travel, all of the things that all these other teams are going to have to deal with this week, that's what we get to, kick back and watch. So it's going to be interesting.
Well,
I just hope all the teams beat the crap out of each other. That's what I want.
I know,
Yeah,
but you're talking about
overtime.
Yeah.
Jeremy, about war of attrition. So I got to get my topic in here with
go for it.
This was great, but there are a few positions. We've brought them up in the chat. We brought them up on the show a little bit, but okay, PJ Locke, we don't know the status of his injury yet. Devin Key, still wearing number 26. He could be the starter. Seems like Vance Joseph. I don't know if he was trolling or not, but he's not worried having Devin Key out there. Okay. I know he's been our best special teamer this year, but that's a different thing. Alex Palczewski and Ben Powers. Who are you going with there? You got Jaleel McLaughlin, but he's kind of way more one-dimensional than RJ Harvey. Excuse me. You got Justin Sternad, which, I mean, you guys were talking about this in your post game yesterday about how, man, he's been our best linebacker this year. And are we really going to put him on the bench in a playoff game if Dre Greenlaw returns and keep Alex Singleton out there? Are we really going to do that? Are we going to self-sabotage like that? So I'm curious, just kind of thoughts on these different positions. How would you want to, run these rotations or the lineups or whatever? And do you expect Sean Payton to do anything different than what we've seen in the regular season? Kodiak, I'll start with you.
Okay, so I'm going to work from backwards to forwards on this one. So the first one was inside linebacker, right? And, if you're the Denver Broncos, we know it won't happen. Alex Singleton is kind of like the Adam Troutman where you just kind of got to live with it. It is what it is. The team brought him back for a reason. They don't really care about how much it hampers the defense, but, one seeds do not come around very often. You have to. Well, if I was in the building, I'd do this. You have to start Greenlaw and Sternad. Like, you can't mess around with this, okay? You don't know when you're going to be back. Okay, think about the Lions and the Bengals, all the teams that said, oh, we'll be back. You cannot get beat because of your single biggest liability on the defensive side of the ball all year long while you have a clear answer to that problem. Not to say that Sternad and Greenlaw is going to magically solve everything, but Singleton has been the Achilles heel of this defense and will probably continue to be in the playoffs. So you cannot mess around with that. That's priority number one for me. As far as left guard, Palczewski or Powers, I mean, Powers has still been there, done that guy. I still think, I have not really been impressed with him ever since he came back. I thought he did not play well yesterday, but I'm still just not ready to pull the plug. I don't think that's wise in the playoffs. If something were to happen to him in the playoffs, which knock on wood, you could at least take comfort in the fact that you have been there backup in Alex Palczewski, which is great. But once again, Powers is your starter for a reason and will continue to be all year long. Now, as far as what you do at the running back position, man, you got to give Jaleel some more run just because, Harvey is a great playmaker, but down to down, I think he's just been far too inconsistent for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. And Jaleel has ran hard, given his opportunities. I think, there's a reason Jaleel was inactive for most of the year until something happened to Dobbins. And I don't think the coaching staff is invalid. I didn't think Jaleel McLaughlin was that good last year. But, from what we've seen from it this year, he's hungry. He wants to get out there. And I've been impressed with him whenever he has ran. But safety spot, we should probably make an addition there. Like, he said that he wasn't going to be losing any sleep if Key had to start. I think he's kind of BSing on that. Okay. I think if Key were to be starting our first playoff game, I think he would need a lot of weed and melatonin to sleep. So I think he's completely BSing on that. Now, I don't know what kind of washed safeties that can lead to go to a playoff run that are out there, but remember, Eric Weddle started for the Rams during their Super Bowl run because they basically ran out of options. So curious to see what happens. Justin Simmons is not happening much to the dismay of the fan base, but yep, those are all my thoughts on those.
Great point about Eric.
Remember Shiloh KO? You pull a Shiloh KO.
Yeah, hopefully he does. Hopefully whoever we sign doesn't get a DUI 2 days after we win the Super Bowl either, like KO did.
Hey,
I forgot about that. I remember he
tweeted
Wade Phillips and then they ended up signing him because he tweeted him.
Yeah.
KO made that huge onside recovery in the AFC Championship. So
yep,
that's right.
Yep, yeah. And I remember he got the pick in the last regular season game against the Chargers. I think something happened to Stewart, and I think KO ended up coming up big with the pick.
Yeah, so he contributed.
Okay. Maybe Devin Key's that guy. Jeremy, man, any particular thoughts on these positions and how you would want to see them play out here in 2 weeks?
I mean, the biggest one for me is Stranad. I think I don't care if he starts, but he needs more snaps than Singleton. Yeah. So they might give Singleton the start because it looks like better, I guess. But I'm telling you, Sean needs to be very, and I think he is, but I think he needs to be very aware of how each guy is looking early in the game. And then if somebody seems to have it more than another team, lean into that. All these guys need to prepare. Powers and Paucho both need to prepare like they're starting. RJ and Jaleel both need to prepare like they're getting the bulk. Key, whoever the safeties are, same thing. And Sean needs to be able to get his finger on it. Don't be stuck. This now is not the time to be stubborn. Now is the time to be smart and go with the hot hand because that can win you and lose you football games.
Well said. Mark, finish it off for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think I feel a little bit differently about this than most people. I mean, I'm never in the boat of swish things up. It's been working. We won 14 out of 17 games in the regular season. And whether we like it or not, I can assure you, unless Alex Singleton gets hurt, he is going to play the majority, whether Greenlaw's back or not. He's the green dot guy. It just is what it is. The Kodiak said we have to kind of deal with that. It is what it is. You still got to find packages and ways to utilize Justin Sternat to his strengths. No doubt about it. It'd be nice. It's always nice to have an extra linebacker than less at that position. I don't think you can really change up all that much. The mojo of the team, he's a team captain. They obviously love him. And they've done a better job with Singleton of not putting him in really vulnerable positions, I feel like. After they put him one-on-one with Saquon Barkley and he absolutely toasted him down the sidelines, I think they learned after that. I haven't seen really any situations where they're doing that. So you got to stick it there. The safety position, yeah, I mean, it would suck if we had to go with Key, but it is what it is. You're not going to find anybody that's going to be a better solution right off the gate in one game. So we're just going to kind of hope we, pray that Devin Key plays well. I will say I like Devin Key's size and length more than PJ Locke, if that means anything. But obviously with PJ, you know what you're getting. And then the running back position, I think that we need to roll with RJ Harvey and have Jaleel be the change of pace guy. That's just how I feel. If RJ's hot and he's getting going, yes, feed him. But you got to keep rolling with RJ. He's made too many big plays for you. Is he a perfect running back? No, he's got a lot of growth for sure. But I think that he's got the most 3-down running back upside. Whereas Jaleel, it's he's on the field, he's getting the ball. So it's a little bit too much of a tell. So I don't think you switch up too much. But here's what I'm curious about. Last year, everyone kind of went up in arms, right? Remember, we deactivate. We made Audric Estime inactive for the game and brought up Tyler Bidet, right? So what do you guys think about activating A.T. Perry for the playoffs?
Oh, don't
tempt
me with a good time.
Tyler Bidet inactive. So we flip it. We're no, you're not playing this time, Tyler. We don't need you. And you deactivate him. and A.T. Perry gets his first elevation in the playoff game.
Oh,
So you're
my
telling
God.
me we roll with 2 running backs and 6 receivers? Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Is Marvin Mims your RB3?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm really happy that you brought that up. So, no, he's not. Obviously, I'm kidding about all that. And I think it's absolutely asinine. But I do believe, like, if there's one thing that I think Sean Payton will bring out of the bag is more Marvin Mims rushing attempts, because that completely went away after the end of last year. Like, remember how much he was like almost our full-time running back, it felt like at one point. So I think getting Marvin Mims involved in the run game is the best way to get him involved in this offense. So I'm a big fan of that. I hope they do that. I think it can offset some of the running as well. Mark, drugs are bad. Okay, yeah. No, I just wanted to throw in an AT Perry.
Yeah,
Perry
we gotta talk about it.
It's not going to go away until at least next year.
Dude, I'm still upset that Sean Payton blocked me on Twitter. How soft are you, Sean
Really?
Payton? Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter for saying he's screwing over A.T. Perry by not playing him. He blocked me. I didn't.
It would
curse,
be funny if he
I didn't
activated
say
him and then unblocked you afterwards.
nothing. Yeah.
It's like,
Sean
all right, I got you.
Payton, come on now, man. I've defended you since you've been hired here, aside from A.T. Perry. Aside from A.T. Perry. Come on now. All right. Well, we got 5-10 minutes or so. Jeremy, wrap us up with some, not would you rather, giddy up or hold your horses. Let's get to it.
Okay. I'll just, without thinking, David, the game I'm most excited to watch this weekend is Bills Jags.
Hold your horses. No. I'm most excited for Bears Packers, baby.
Wow.
Hey,
That's gonna be a
I'm
good
from
game.
Illinois. It's one of the best rivalries in football. And this is the first time in a long time that the Packers have not had the best head coach going into this matchup.
Yeah.
And if they lose to the Bears, and Packers fans are still convinced that the Bears suck. They are. So if they lose to the Bears, oh man, Cheese Kingdom, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a disaster.
So you like the Bears, David?
Yes, I'm going with
All
the
right,
Bears.
so
yeah.
well, like in general, like are they your second favorite team?
No, I usually kind of choose my second team on a yearly basis, but they have been my second team this year. They have become that. Yes.
Because it would be really cool if the Bears got a game-winning touchdown and it was Kyle Monangai. That'd be a
Dude.
win-win.
Yes. Hey, we all got a reason to cheer for the Bears on this team, right? Or on this show. So great question, Jeremy. But it's not the AFC I'm looking forward to. It's the NFC battles I'm most interested in this week.
All right.
I like it.
Very interesting. Let's go. Kodiak. The lack of red zone success this past couple of weeks from the offense worries you.
Yes, absolutely. Like, once again, I don't think it meant a whole lot in this game because, once again, the bidet, like, swing pass on third down on the first drive of the game, that call was so conservative, it made George Bush look like he's a member of the Green Party. Okay. Like, I thought we did too much. There was a lot of conservative stuff, and we had a lot of just really, really weird plays in the red zone. Like, it literally looked like a Madden playbook out there. We ran mesh. I don't know how many times we ran mesh spot, like 8,000 times. I was like, ooh, I recognize that because that's what I run when I'm in the red zone with my college football teams. So,
Love mesh.
like, I would say it doesn't from this past game, but it does in the Kansas City game because, that still meant a lot. And that was like a game where we played really, really well on the offensive side of the ball. But the only thing we struggled to do was finish our drives. And you know it. You can blame Sutton. You can blame whoever you want for that. But, yeah, it does worry me. Now, once again, we could still hang on to the Green Bay game because we did a great job of finishing our drives in that game. So that's why I think that ultimately we will be fine because we have had a lot of these, how do I put this? Games that are largely inconsequential, unless we did something to like really, really messed up. But I would say, yeah, hold your horse or giddy up. I think you gotta take a real long look at our red zone the past few weeks, and you gotta just determine what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yep, and they got 2 weeks to do it, so I think they will for sure. All right, Mark, this one, and feel free to jump in. Anybody else that disagrees, but which statement is most surprising if we could go back in time 3 months ago. Okay. The Chiefs and the Ravens will not make the playoffs. Bo Nix will be the all-time winningest quarterback ever after 2 seasons. The Broncos will win 14 games in the regular season, or the Broncos will get the number 1 seed heading into the playoffs.
I think the Broncos getting the number 1 seed heading into the playoffs. But then again, like obviously 14 games, it kind of goes hand in hand because you think you win 14, you're probably getting number 1. But I mean, listen, I picked the Broncos to make the playoffs this year. I don't think I even really picked them to make the division or to win the division, but I said they'd be close. Never did I think that they would be the number 1 seed in the AFC. So that one to me would be the most surprising. The Bo Nix thing, not really, because I've always been a huge believer. What was the first one?
The Chiefs and the Ravens will not make the playoffs.
Yeah, that one, it's obviously surprising, but you think to yourself, man, those teams are 1 injury away from not making the playoffs, right? I mean, and it didn't end up being because Mahomes got hurt, but eventually that ended up happening, and then Lamar Jackson didn't play most of the season, so I don't really think he's all that good anyways. I know we've talked about that, but in general, that wouldn't have surprised me because the NFL is so wild like that. 1 injury and a team can lose. But yeah, the Broncos getting the number 1 seed is definitely the one I probably would have been like, I don't believe you.
Anybody else disagree with that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it has to be number 1 seed, man. None of us were talking about that. None of us. So, hey, credit to Sean Payton, man.
I'll pick. I would probably pick the Chiefs and the Ravens because I would be like, yeah, 1 team not making it. But like, okay, if I could make a caveat to that, the Chiefs with a healthy Patrick Mahomes for the vast majority of the season will not make the playoffs. Like we kind of going into this thought this is our year. Maybe we could win the AFC West. And a lot of us were like, yeah, I think we can and will. But like the Chiefs absolutely winning 6 games is like crazy. The Ravens not having a winning season is crazy to me. Like to me, it was like before this season, it was like, who are our 3 biggest threats? It's Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. And Chiefs, Ravens are not even in it. Bills are a wild card, have to travel their whole playoffs. So like, it's just, that's wild for me. I just did not. I mean, it just goes to show you how this NFL is structured. And we got so used to seeing certain teams in it for so long, but it's this draft from last year. It's these quarterbacks, Caleb with the Bears, Drake May with New England. I mean, we saw what Jaden did last year. Bo Nix is now for 2 years in a row. Like the new era of the NFL is now officially here, in my opinion.
It is, man. It is. Chiefs fans are going to say the NFL will regret not having Mahomes in the playoffs. Oh, please. Oh, please. The NFL is bigger than one player or team. They are a machine. And who wants to watch, a bad Chiefs team when you can watch the Denver Broncos, baby? You can watch the Denver Broncos go win a Super Bowl. Guys, thanks so much for joining. This was a fantastic show. I appreciate the kind words, man. There are a lot of great shows out in Broncos country. And this has become, I don't know, really, 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 really fun since we ever started doing it.
Here's all I know. Since Horsepower Hour has been on the air, the Broncos have won the AFC West in the first seed in the playoffs.
That's it.
Yeah,
Coincidence?
We figured it out.
I don't know.
I think not, sir.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I think the first day we did this, I think that's the day we signed J.K. Dobbins. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the first day we did this.
I think you're right.
Back in June.
And we were all clamoring for it. Yeah. Man, J.K. Dobbins, get back here. Okay.
I have one more thing real quick I want to say. Just to kind of recap where we're at right now. And it's, as a little kid, nobody dreams about being the first seed. Nobody's lifelong goal is to receive a first round bye, even though those things are great. They're an accomplishment, but they're not the ultimate goal. And all they are is an opportunity to realize the ultimate goal. And that's winning a world championship, right? So this team has the players, coaches, and ownership to win a world championship right now. And the last thing you want to do is to look back and wish you seized the moment when it was there. And I'm sure there's players like Champ Bailey and Jake Plummer who look back at 2005 when we were in the AFC Championship hosting it and didn't realize what we had at the time. And that was our opportunity then. And even though we're still paying Russell Wilson and we're ahead of schedule and all those things, our time right now, our time is right now because we have the number 1 seed. We have the opportunity, the best opportunity to win a world championship, to go to the Super Bowl, right? So, it's time to be great. Be smart right now. Prepare your butt off. Seize the opportunity that's in front of you. That's all I have to say.
Love it.
Yes, sir. Man, I wish the team could hear that going into the divisional round. That's awesome. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes. What a way, man, to cap it off. And I guess we'll be back next week to talk about who we got in the matchup in the divisional round. Guys, if you didn't know, we do Horsepower Hour where all of our channels come together in Broncos country, celebrates every Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Be sure to subscribe to everybody's channels in the description of whatever show or stream you're watching. Hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Then go ahead and get on couch. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos, baby.